up, though? This your fave cuz Dom.
And your favorite cousin Hope.
And today we are going to jump into talking about identity shifts. We're talking about community and collaboration and seasons of hustle versus seasons of harvest. So, Hope you ready?
It's a mouthful. I've been ready.
All right, then. Well, let's talk about this identity shift.
Woo.
Now, when it comes to identity shift or your identity, how did you identify yourself like in your 20s versus how you identify yourself in your 30s? Like, who were you in your 20s versus your 30s?
Impatient in my 20s for sure. Like, I felt like I had to do everything fast. Mm-hmm. But now I know the power of moving at a steady pace and just getting it done. That's a big thing for me. Like 20s versus 30s is my patience. Because I'm gonna give you an example. When I used to go in the store, I used to rush through getting inventory, get all the way home and then didn't get enough shirts or, you know what I'm saying, didn't get a certain color ink. When really, I made a checklist, so I should have just went down the checklist instead of trying to go off the top of my head. But I'm moving so fast and doing 10 other different things, I'm just whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, I'm out of here, you feel me? Where now when I go in the store, I don't be on the phone. I got a list. I'm going through the list line by line. Like, I'm taking my time and getting it right because the time that I save by not having to go back to that warehouse, you feel me? Like, it's crucial. So that's a big thing for me, 20s versus 30s, because that affects so much different stuff around me where, you know what I'm saying, even down to my attitude and the way I handle situations.
Yeah.
You get me in my 20s, I just felt like everything needed to be handled right now.
Interesting, because like for me, one thing about my identity in my 20s was I was more shy. Even if I felt like I had certain thoughts in my head, like I never vocalized it. So like my communication style is probably one of the biggest things, which I think has also helped me transform my confidence and being able to have hard conversations and being able to have better relationships, because now I know exactly how to have effective communication. So like in my 20s, I was more of like, I would feel something but I wouldn't say anything. I would hold it in and, you know, just kind of like let it fester inside. And so I knew that I could be a great person. I knew I am a good person, but sometimes when I felt like bad things, when I thought bad things, I'd be like, no, I ain't gonna say that because I don't want to, you know, ruffle
especially
no
like on social media
and all that stuff. Yeah, but even just like communicating my needs to family or you know,
your relationship
those
or your
boundaries
friendship
and all that.
Yeah.
So for me, I would definitely say my identity changed over time as I learned how to effectively communicate.
For sure.
Now in my 30s, I'm like, listen, it don't make me feel comfortable to have the conversation, but I know that I have to have it.
Right.
I know that it's necessary. I know that, you know, if I feel some kind of way, I think it also goes into learning about your triggers too, because I think I used to feel like, oh, if I say something to somebody, they're going to leave me.
Right.
Or, you know, something like that. And it's like, no, just because you are having a dispute or something like that doesn't necessarily mean that person is going to leave you. You can work it out, you know? So I think about all of those things when it comes to identity.
I think that communication was bad for me because I didn't know how to effectively communicate without screaming or raising my voice. And when I got 30, it just became like naturally easy.
Really?
Like, I know people say it's not normal to not argue, but like in my last relationship, we didn't argue. And I equated that to me growing up. You feeling me? Like at some point you gotta have a disagreement. And that's when it got to that point where it's like, okay, we not disagreeing because I just don't want to argue. Like I don't want to raise my voice. I don't know how to communicate without raising my voice. So I'm just not saying nothing at all.
So you let it fester.
Yes, but I was already a festerer. But I wasn't doing this festering on purpose. It was happening because I was literally trying to figure out what effective communication looks like without screaming and hollering and getting your point across without attacking that person. You get what I'm saying? And so my first relationship was just scream, 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 attack, attack, attack. So that's really all I knew. And then, you know, we as a family,
Where do you think
know,
that come from though?
as a family, all we do is scream and attack. Like the women in our family are very catty, very pouncy, very.
So do you feel like you got that? Like what happened in your relationship kind of stemmed or was influenced by how you grew up or the household environment? Not necessarily just point to one person, but just the family.
Yeah, definitely. Because my mom and daddy argued until they got divorced, and then they became best friends. Like the best thing that ever happened for my mom and daddy was for them to go apart. Because after that, they became friends and learned how to,
the obligation
from the outside looking in, effectively communicate with each other. And so, yes, for that first relationship, but it taught me so much. And I was young. She was 25. I was like 17. You feel me? Like. Okay, she was like 23 or something, 24.
Still 17 is underage.
I know, but I was in my senior year. I was doing me, you feel me?
That's okay.
Young, dumb. Oh, I can't say that on camera. I forgot. Okay. But nevertheless, that first relationship, you just learn a lot about yourself, about, you know what I'm saying? Because before, all my relationships was kind of long distance. Because, like, I ain't like dating people that went to the same high school as me or none of that. Like, I had a girlfriend who lived in Lansing for 2 whole years, and it was amazing. Like, I just did not, I've never been the type of person where I got to see my mate every day. Like,
that's so wild because it's like that long distance. I don't like long distance. Like,
I don't like it now at 33, but back then, you got to think about it. Like, I wasn't all the way out yet. My mama was a minister. Like, it just worked. It was just easier that way. You feel me? Like,
being more discreet.
It was just easier that way. And so, like I always tell you, don't date women that are irrational. Because as soon as I start dating women that live closer to me, things start changing, and it was a lot to deal with. Because now we not arguing over the phone, we arguing face to face. You hype, I'm a Taurus. She was a Virgo. You feel me? It was a lot. You feel me? And she had a kid, so it was a super lot.
Yeah,
it was a learning experience, but I think that relationship shaped me for my 30s. Cause now at 30, like, again, it go back to every episode that we need to kind of hit on this. Hope, why do you get along with everybody? I don't. But you got to think, like, I've literally had to effectively communicate with all different types of people, from the hoodiest hood to the CEO of the Fortune 500 company, you feel me, to city council, to the mayor, to the mayor's office. So, like, I've just learned that you can't meet everybody in the same space. And so that helped me be able to be like, okay, you can say this and say it with authority and not raise your voice. You know, like, you can get your point across without doing the absolute most, and people will respect you more for that. Not just in a relationship, but in business and friendships, all of that. Like, I do still let some stuff fester because I'm a Taurus, and it's like some stuff just not working.
Don't be using those signs.
Some stuff just not working.
Honestly,
some stuff just not working.
I would say I read a horoscope every now and then, but baby, I'm not blaming it on no horoscope. No, that is just
it's not okay. It's not the horoscope, but
preference,
yes,
and how you react. Cause I'm a Taurus too. You ain't gonna put that on me.
So you don't be letting stuff fester?
No.
You probably don't now because you in your 30s. You know that's the difference.
You in your 30s too.
And that's why I'm different. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but you in your 30s, so you should be letting nothing faster than that.
I'm not in my heavy 30s like you.
Whoa,
you kind of
big heavy 30s.
I didn't say you was old. I went to find another way.
Heavy 30s.
Okay, on the back end of my 30s, the later. Okay, you know what? Forget it.
Remind you, we're only 3 years apart.
But I'm just, that 3 years is crucial. Like, I'm a totally different
whole. Can't happen in them 3 years.
At 30, I am a totally different person at 33, so I can't wait to see what I'm like at 36, 37 is what I'm saying. Like, you blessed. You super blessed. Like, that wasn't even a shot. You are blessed because I'm
heavy.
Every day you get to grow. You got to grow and be better. And now okay, you know what? You 30 something and you already told the people you 30.
So let's talk about. Let's talk about who we are. I'm thinking about like the professional setting, who we are in a professional setting versus who our family see us as.
Ooh,
because I feel like me, I don't know, because everybody. That's the thing. Like, when I think about me being in business, I feel like some of it does transfer over, but I think when I think more about it, I feel like I am just me all around. However, I will say what I've learned professionally has been very helpful for me personally.
Yeah.
Like me learning how to be a little bit more assertive, me learning how to have clearer communication and understanding different learning styles.
For sure.
Understanding, hey, if everybody is disorganized, I know how to organize. I know how to plan accordingly and try to convey to everybody. I don't know. It's kind of like, for example, when we do the family prayer, right? Like the family prayer, I be wondering, like, if anybody else did that, would they, like, how would they handle it? Because it's like you got to rally up all the people. You got to get organized. You got to get a date. It's a lot to juggle when you're dealing with a lot of different personalities and people. And I wonder, like.
That's why we don't have family reunions, because we don't have mental capacity to put stuff together. And think about it like this. Think about how hard it was to rally together the family back then, because no phones, you know what I'm saying? How easy it is to rally the family, and it does not happen in today's world. You know why? Because we don't have the mental capacity.
Though, I don't think it's the mental capacity, because I ain't gonna do our family like that. However,
I'm not talking about our family, just talking about general as a whole.
Because I feel like,
as a whole, the people of today.
I was about to say, because in my mind, I feel like if we talk about our family specifically, I think it's something beyond that. But like, I don't know. I just feel like who did I talk to? I was talking to somebody where they literally said they had like a 3-day outing for their family reunion. Mm-hmm. Like, and they had all of their ancestral, like, documentation and all kinds of stuff. Like, it was.
They got recorders in the South, and so what a recorder does is records all the family events, all the family like precious moments, the dates, the times, the whole nine. You feel me? Like that's what they do. And so when it's time to do the family reunions, it's the recorder's job to have all that information to already put stuff together. Whereas before I moved to the South, I never heard nothing like that.
I don't feel like nobody really want to do that these days. And that's why I say people don't got the mental capacity. But I don't think it's really a mental capacity, Hope. I really just believe that people just don't want to do it because they don't want the responsibility or having to deal with whatever family stuff is going on. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to know, but I don't know. Like, have you ever talked to anybody about family reunions or anything like that, and somebody else said it, or you just kind of like that's just from your
observation? That just doing. First of all, we don't do a lot of family reunions. I don't know a lot of parents who do family it's just not a thing. But when people do family reunions, it's the number one complaint is always bringing so many different people and personalities together. The fights, the you know what I'm saying. Like I just had a lady. She ordered 250 shirts for her family reunion. And I asked her, I'm like, how did you pull this off? And she was like, honestly, it's because everybody got so many kids, and so what she did was she made everybody responsible for their own personal family. Okay. So she was in contact with probably like the head, and then the mom had to wrangle the kids, you know, and then the kids had to wrangle their kids, and so on and so forth. And so, because she said her doing all the communication, which is what she was doing in the beginning, wasn't going to work on the strength of everybody's replying at different times, this, that, and third. So like she gave explicit directions to the head of the household, so whatever you want to call them, on what to do. And she was like, that was the easiest route. And honestly, that's the first time I ever heard somebody say that. Yeah, she was still stressed, but what I'm saying is, like, people usually be stressed. You know
what I actually said I wanted to do was for a family reunion. If I was to plan an event for the family, I would hire somebody. I would hire a professional.
For sure.
Because then that could take most of the weight off of me. So if we are having, you know what I'm saying, like everybody can not necessarily relax, but you could free yourself of a lot of headache if you have a professional doer who is typically set to work with large groups of people. So
for sure.
I don't know. That's kind of like how I feel.
No, I definitely would probably go that route. Because like even with If we would have threw my mama a 65th birthday or granny, I would have hired somebody. Like I would have brought one of my partners in, because
absolutely
the amount of stress that come with putting stuff together, you not gonna be able to enjoy yourself. So it's pointless. You get what I'm saying? So like, I'm definitely not like. If something ever happened to my mama or granny, all my printer friends around me know they duties. I'm not doing that. I'm not that person that could. No, just I'm gonna be the filter between the family. Like my family had never had that burden of having to approve this, that, and the third. Like yes, I'm gonna still be doing that, but as far as like actually putting stuff together and all of that stuff, no, I'm not doing it. It's too much. Cause I've done it for other families and I know what come with it. You feel me? So like, no.
Yeah.
It's just not that serious for me.
No wine today. No wine for me.
But this conversation is dope. But y'all already know what time it is. We got to go to commercial. We got to pay some of these bills. And if you want to help us pay these bills, you can submit. We need a new monitor and a stabilizer and a drone, because you just said we need a drone. So if you want to help pay these bills, send your commercial to one of these emails on the screen and get a commercial spot. That's how you help pay these bills. We'll be right back after these messages.
Laying a loved one to rest can be so overwhelming. Already have to hire a florist, preacher, church, cemetery, and a host of other things that go into planning a funeral. Let your brand imprint take a few things off your plate. We offer a host of services under one roof to make your life just that much easier. Your brand imprint, your go-to place for peace of mind during a trying time.
Cousin
Pete.
Man. No. It's always that one, man. It's always that one. But we back like we never left. We paid some bills. Now it's time to get to the nitty-gritty. What you think about outgrowing old versions of yourself? Or having to face imposter syndrome? Or giving yourself permission to evolve.
Bro?
I'm just saying. It's like 3
different.
Okay, well let's break it down. Let's rewind, go back. Outgrowing old version of yourself. Friend groups, routines, even your dreams. Like at the later end of 30. At the later end of 30, talk about it. And I want to hear it from a personal standpoint, not a business standpoint.
Outgrowing an old version of myself.
Like, do you think that? First of all, do you think that has happened? And if it has happened, has it happened multiple times?
I think it absolutely happens. I feel like we all have different seasons of life to where I feel I'm at the point where I know when this is a hustle season, this is a resting season, this is a season where I know that I'm about to shed a lot of layers. Like I feel like I am sometimes so in tune with the chapters of my life, because I feel like we all go through cycles and we just have to pay attention to those cycles. So I would absolutely say that I've outgrown my old self multiple times. I will say that the phase that I'm in now, where I've outgrown things, is again kind of like what we were talking about before, is communication. And before, I was nervous to talk about how I felt, and now I feel like I am not timid anymore. But even just like when I think about who I am today with like creating boundaries with my parents, that is a very big one, because I will give an example of like with my dad. I was very, very nervous to tell my dad how I felt. And so when it came to telling my dad how I felt, I would always like stop. I would pause. I wouldn't say anything, because I'm like, ooh, this is my dad. I don't want to disrespect him, blah, 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 blah. But then I got to a point where I was like, I need to tell this man how I feel, because I've been holding it in for 20 plus years,
right.
And it's, it keeps happening. And so I just felt like God kept giving me that lesson until I passed that test. And so I had finally told him like, hey, I don't like how you treat me. I feel like you have done XYZ or haven't done XYZ. And it wasn't to a point where I was trying to point the finger, but it was at a point where I felt like he needed to know how I felt, because if I never told him how I felt, then I was going to continue to fester. I was going to continue to hold it in. I was going to
What does festering do to you? Like, festering affects everybody differently. How does it affect you?
It makes me not want to be around you. It makes me not want to be in that environment with that person. But this is something I actually talked about too, because I did a public speaking event where I talked about emotional freedom and how we have to remove the power from the title when it comes especially to our parents. It's not to say we don't respect our parents, or they don't deserve respect, or you should disrespect them. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that you should not be putting somebody else's title over your needs. You know what I'm saying? Your basic human needs of emotions or whatever that is. And so I would say definitely, once I was able to tell my dad how I felt liberated. I felt like I could tell anybody anything, okay? I mean, I think when it came to my mom, I was always telling her no or being real snappy. And I've learned even over time, and I've outgrown myself, where I'm like, okay, let me just try to treat her like a human more so than my mama.
Right.
And I still have my moments. I'm not going to say I don't, but what I will say is that I've learned how to handle her differently. And so I would say that definitely, I'm no longer a child. I'm not speaking from a child's place. I'm speaking from a grown woman's space. Like, I had to realize my accomplishments and all of the work that I've done, and knowing that I'm not letting my inner child speak anymore. I'm letting grown, heavy 36 talk now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just it took some time, and I'm still working through those things, but please believe when you talk to me, you're talking to a grown woman. You're not talking to teenage Dominique or young Dominique. Like, no, we need to have an adult conversation.
Do you think that came with figuring out what your worth is, like knowing your worth?
I think they can coincide a little bit, but I do believe that knowing your worth and healing, they're still two different things. Gotcha. Like, I had to heal my inner child, and that is what helped me evolve into the new person, the new being, versus knowing my worth. That was a part of the process, but it wasn't the complete process. Right. But what would you say? What would you say, like, outgrowing your old self?
For me, but that's the reason why I asked you that, is because I feel like me outgrowing the old hope is realizing my worth. Like, because a lot of the things that I went through coming up after I graduated, especially, was not thinking I was good enough. Ooh. Like, because a lot of that also stems from church trauma. You get what I'm saying? Because once, all I knew was the church until I, became 17, 18, 19 years old. And so once the church kind of like turned their back on me because I was the same hope, but now you just knew that I was gay, it made me feel like less than. You get what I'm saying? And so for years I carried that. And that's why I always had that mindset of, shoot, I'm already gay. Let me not add to it. Like, let me not be a criminal. Let me not be this. Let me not be that, because I'm already gay. You feel me? And that's the ultimate sin. And you know what I'm saying? So like, evolving and growing is that, learning that you can be a good person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to try to overcompensate with my volunteering and stuff because of that. You feel me? Like, a lot of,
like, prove that you were a good person outside of your sexual preference.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. And once I realized that, I was like, you know what? I had to kind of back up off of community service, because I had to figure out like who I was without.
How did you know that community service was kind of like your cover up to an extent?
When I wasn't doing it, I felt like terrible. and it shouldn't be that way. Like, I had conversations with other people, and they like, don't get me wrong, like, I enjoy doing community service. I love doing community service. Like, it's
back.
always that. But what I'm saying is, like, it shouldn't come to a point where that's the only way you feel validated or feel like a good person or feel like you did something good that day is to give something away or give something for free, or you know what I'm saying? Like, even in business, like, I used to do a lot of free stuff because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. You feel me? Like, it took me a minute to realize, like, I can't help nobody if I don't help myself. If I'm in a bad position, there's no way for me to put somebody else in a better position. And so it took me a minute to get there because, like, I literally had to kind of just, like, forgive myself and really forgive me for thinking that way for so many years. And kind of just be like, you know what? The past is the past. Let's move on.
What would you say about, like, friendships? Like, have you, like, when it comes to you, like, did you see your friends change?
Heck yeah. I said in the first episode, my 2 best friends today would not have been my 2 best friends in high school. They told we complete opposites.
One of them definitely would not have.
Yeah, she's probably still in Poland somewhere. You feel me? Like,
y'all age difference.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And so, like, the people that I tolerated around me in my 20s, no, never in my 30s.
Like what, Hope? What was the behavior?
Young, dumb, and stupid.
Oh.
I'm just being like, I always needed to, even in my relationship, I didn't date women who made more money than me.
Oh.
Like, until I moved to Texas, like, I didn't date women who made more money than me because I needed. Why? Because I needed to feel
more of a man.
Touche. No, but I needed to feel like, you know, more than what I was feeling. Yeah. And so that reflected in my friends. Like, I hung around a lot of unmotivated.
You know what's
lackeys,
interesting?
For lack of better words.
I will say, once I did start recognizing my worth, I did start to shift friends. Yeah. And I'll give you 2 different examples real quick. So, like, one, for example, was when I realized that a good quality friendship is not based on how many years that we've known each other. That was like the first lesson when I started to learn my worth. Like, man, this person isn't really showing up for me, but I'm always showing up for them. When I realized that we should be showing up for each other, that's when I shedded that layer and became more mature when it came to choosing my friends. Then, to take it up a notch, I will say another thing that I recognized, in addition to realizing, like, the quality of my friends was very important, but also healthy relationships was very important. I can honestly say that I had to really look at my relationship with women because I wasn't always friends with a lot of females, and I had to dig really deep to really feel like, why am I not cool with a lot of women? And I don't know if it was just my perception of women and how we grew up, and just kind of seeing how they interacted with each other, so it kind of made me kind of standoffish when it came to making new friends. But I will say, actually having friends that be there for you and you actually accepting help. Like, I've had friends before, they go, oh yeah, let me help you, Dom, and I'd be like, I'm good, I'm good, sis, thank you. But now if somebody say, oh my gosh, do you need anything, blah, 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 even though it's a little hard for me to say yes, I still say yes, because I know that.
To everybody?
If I have a friend that's asking me if I need help.
Is it a different level of friendship? Like, for me, because I got different levels of friends.
Well,
like, entry level, been here a minute.
I've learned how to trust myself and the people I choose to call my friends.
And maybe that's why I don't call everybody my friend.
Because that's the thing. If I don't call you my friend, then that means we just ain't friends. But I will say, if I call someone my friend, I am trusting that I chose a quality person, because I am a person of quality myself.
For sure.
So if my friend do ask me if I need help, first off, I had to be vulnerable enough to even share anything. Right. But on top of that, they're asking if you need help, and if I need help, I will say yes. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't just gonna be like, oh yeah, you can just pray for me. Now prayers do work, but sometimes I want more than that.
Right.
You know, sometimes I need more than that, and I think we have to be okay with being vulnerable and saying like, yes, I need help. So I think that was also a part of my evolution of going from I don't need no help to yes, please help me.
So let's take a shift then.
You can hear it, take a move.
Because one of the questions that was posed was regarding imposter syndrome, and I just want to read the definition so people can understand what it is.
For sure.
It's a psychological experience that causes people to doubt their skills and success. It is characterized by persistent feeling of inadequacy and the belief that success is undeserved, even when evidence suggests otherwise. People with imposter syndrome may attribute their accomplishments to luck or external factors and fear being exposed as a fraud. And so I wanted to read that because in that definition, it says people with imposter syndrome may attribute their accomplishments to luck or external factors. Is imposter syndrome us always saying God did this? Instead of saying I worked really, really hard, I put the work in.
What do you think? I don't correlate that with imposter syndrome, but how do you feel? Like, what's your first?
I only ask that because a lot of the time I attributed my success always to God. And not saying it in a bad way, but what I'm saying is came a time where I had to tell myself like, okay, hope you gotta say you did this. Like, not saying I did it without God.
I mean, you giving
but
credit
what
to
I'm
God.
saying is instead of only giving credit to God, I had to learn how to give myself credit and say, actually, yes, God stepped in and God is God, but you had to be prepared, you had to be ready, you had to put the work in, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you hadn't did those things, God could have put you in any situation and it might not have turned out the same way because you wasn't prepared.
I think when I hear imposter syndrome, it's very similar to what you read of essentially feeling like you could be the most qualified person in the room, but when you step in there and you sit down at that table, you feel like you doubt everything that you know.
Right.
That to me is imposter syndrome, where you feel like you question all of your credentials, your qualifications, all of your experience, you know what I'm saying? And now you feel like, oh, I was gonna say something, but dang, is that really it? Oh, and you know for certain, if you were in a different environment, you would be able to speak with more certainty, but because you're in that space with those people, you start to doubt what
so can I be transparent?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Please don't take this no way type of way to my Caucasian friends. But I have to say it like this.
Oh Lord.
I used to feel imposter syndrome in a room full of white people. Like,
okay.
One of my good constituents, Derek, he was like, one day he was like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And I just had to tell him, I'm like, I still kind of feel inferior when I walk into certain meetings or because he was introducing me to somebody from, I think, like Def Jam or something. And I was just standing there because I didn't really know what to say. And he literally pulled me to the side. He and that wasn't the first time. That's what's crazy is when we got the Travis Scott account, he left me standing there with the person which was on his team at the time. He just left us standing there to talk, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, why would this man just leave me here with this important lady like this for me to fend for myself?
You didn't feel like you was
important. Listen, it's a tea party, but I'm gonna set the tea party up. So I'm like in a Nike Tech jogging suit because I'm the help today, and they're in their best Sunday hat and ties, and I remember telling Derek, I'm like, bro, I feel like I need to leave and go home. He like, no, you did all of this. This is your work. Like, it's okay for you to look like this because you made it possible for everybody else to come in and enjoy themselves. And so it was those two specific times where he like called me out on it that made me realize, like, okay, even if I do talk a little ghetto by accident, or if I do slip up, I'm listening to the conversations that they having. They talking about all kind of stuff. So it's like, I made it up in my mind that I had to be perfect when I really didn't. You had I just had to be me.
They're not perfect,
right? I just had to be me, and I didn't understand that. You get what I'm saying? Like it took people to call me out on it. But that's just to go back to the original question that I asked you about the whole God thing. It's just because I feel like, and again, I love God. I'm gonna always give him,
Absolutely.
but I just feel like some people don't also give themselves the credit. Like, yes, you had to step out on faith and do all of that stuff, but at some point you got to say, like, words of affirmation. That is basically what I'm saying. Like, will we be like, oh, every time something good happened, do we be like, oh, I gotta thank my mama because she gave birth to me? You get what I'm saying? Like, and if you do, you still gonna be like, hey, but I'm that God though. You feel me? Like, I did this. I never did that. Like, I never celebrated my wins, none of that. Like, I'd be like, thank you God, you the best, and then I just keep it moving.
And it's okay to give credit to God, like if that's the space that you're in, but at least now you've learned over time that it is okay to celebrate the things that you do, the you know what I'm saying, the fruit that God did help produce. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna get credit at the end of the day if that's what you believe, but it's more so of like, yeah, you deserve that. You deserve to be celebrated.
But I think we need to remind ourselves that, because we so programmed to be like, give God the glory for everything, and we should. Not saying that we should not, people. What I'm saying is, in the same breath that you giving God the glory, you gotta pump yourself up. You gotta hype yourself up.
I would say pause and then take another breath and then give yourself.
Yeah, okay, or that too. But just don't forget to hype yourself up and remind yourself, like, I put the work in. Yeah. I did this. Like,
I would say for imposter syndrome, I would say one of the first times that I had it was, I would say initially I used to feel that way when I was in corporate, where I was the only black woman or the only person of color in the room. Because it is, you do second guess yourself, but then you be like, that shit is wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, but I would say the thing that stands out to me right now at this moment. So I remember that I was in a room full of tech founders, and I'm also a tech founder. And everybody was pitching on their technology platform. Like, they were so confident and like really speaking to numbers and, talking about the features and the future, the future of the platform and all this stuff. And I was just like, what? They were like, yeah, Dom. They was like, yeah, Dom, you want to go? And I was like, no, I don't want to go, because y'all are just killing it. Y'all knocking it out the park, and I don't know.
I'm not as prepared as I thought I was
about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought we was brainstorming. I didn't know y'all already had it figured out.
You came with a plan, ready to execute the plan.
Yeah, so I would say, like, when I was around other tech founders that was a lot more that I felt were more qualified than me, because they had everything mapped out. But I did have to sit with myself in that. And I will also say that I also had to realize that I was doing everything by myself, and they had partners.
Right, and teams.
And so that was the thing. I didn't look at it at that from that perspective until I really sat with myself and was like, dang, why do I feel like...
Did you give your time to evolve, or did you just was like, I gotta be here? Because for me, I didn't give myself time to evolve. Like I said in episode 1 or 2, one of those, all the people around me was always so much older that it sped my stuff. Like, I'm grateful because it sped it up, but at the same time, like, sometimes it made me try to reach for unattainable goals because it just wasn't my time yet. You get what I'm saying? Like, they had 10, 12, 15 years more in the game. Yeah, you feel me? 20. Bingo. Like, and not realizing that this woman 55, I'm not even 30 yet. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I'm in the same room, so I must be doing something right.
Like,
you feel me? But you don't think about it like that because you haven't given yourself time to be like, okay, I made this jump from here to here, here to here.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like if somebody is younger than you in the room, do you give them just as much respect as if y'all are the same age?
I do.
Or older?
I probably give them more respect because how you get here this fast? It took me till I was 33 to get in this room. You 22 in the same room as me. I don't like it. So now I gotta respect you. Now you got my attention. My eyes is on you. I'm trying to figure out what you done did. Cause the 56-year-old, they 56. So they ain't do everything right because they 56.
Well, how you gonna?
I'm just saying.
They 56 don't mean they ain't
Okay, what I'm saying is okay, I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is though, they not 22. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking about like, and they might have already been in rooms like this already before, but I'm just saying in that moment, that's how I'm looking at it because it's like, one, you got to stay youthful. You got to stay up with the current stuff. And a 56-year-old can't teach me that. There's a lot of stuff that a 56-year-old can teach me.
They could teach you.
They can teach me.
They can teach you how to make chicken in the morning.
If I'm in a room and I'm pitching and there's 10, 20-year-olds in there, I'm listening to everything they saying.
Are you listening to the 55?
I am, but like I'm really locked in on the 22-year-old because they moving faster. They move, it's just
they like
different.
AI.
You feel me?
Internet, and then the older people like AOL.
Basically, they like dial up. They like dial up. You feel me? And I don't want to dial in right now. I just want to bing, bing, bing. And it's done. You feel me?
See,
they gonna
the
teach
problem right now.
The older ones gonna teach me the most important parts. How to slow it down and make it last forever. The younger people gonna teach me boom, 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 do this, plug this, that.
Have a good balance because, and this is no shade to no generation, but like we can't always rely on instant gratification. Sometimes we gotta play that long game.
I done messed up a lot of stuff relying on instant gratification.
So you need to be paying attention to both of them folks.
And that's why I said, like, everybody play a different role. It's just that a 22-year-old in the same room as me just garners my attention a little bit more because
fair.
What you over there doing, son? Like, when we went to that event at the Little Caesars place, it wasn't Little Caesars Arena, but it was Little Caesars Arena.
What? It wasn't Little Caesars
The mogul thing. It was in
the making.
Yeah, the mogul in the making. It was at the practice facility. Okay, It was at the practice facility or whatever it's called. That I was intrigued. I'm watching him. I already peeped. That's why I might still be in Detroit next week, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. But I might still be in Detroit when this episode dropped, and I wasn't even supposed to be in Detroit. But I'm so intrigued because I'm not gonna lie to you. When you invited me, and I seen that was a lot of young people, I was like, But then I got there and I see how he moving. Like he suited and booted. He got the 3-piece suit on and the people around. I'm like, hold on. I need to watch what he doing. Clearly he got a vision and he's going to execute that vision. And that's really be the intriguing part for me. Like when you can watch a young person put together the vision and then execute it.
That.
And this is the thing. It wasn't. I don't know if it was hundreds of people there because we got there at the end. But when we got there, y'all, it was probably maybe 40, 50 people there. This at the end of the event, so it had to be at least 100 people there because at the end of the event, people already trickled off. But everybody was networking, they was talking, they was laughing. They, you know what I'm saying? They was nicely dressed. They didn't come in with Jordans on, and you know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't giving what I thought it was gonna give. You feel me? Like he blew my mind with that one, and most importantly, he came correct. Like he was not playing from his swagger to the way he moved. At one point, he lost his phone. He never lost his cool or nothing. He was just like, "Hey, y'all, we gotta find that. I need to put it on the charger, get these pictures," and he just kept moving around. You feel me? Like I'm watching all of that because, like, again, when I move fast, so when I'm setting stuff up and stuff going wrong, you can see it in my face and how I move because I'm moving faster. And Derek put me to the side one day. He was like, "If you running around moving fast, then everything look chaotic because nothing moves without you." And now I literally, you will see me thinking in my head like, "Calm down, Hope. Chill out. You ain't gotta walk breathe kind of fast, but not too slow, but not too fast." Like because all of those things matter, and he had it. Like he just was cool as a cucumber.
Derek, right?
Yeah, shout out to Derek. Shout out him, I guess.
You gems.
Shout out Derek.
Laying a loved one to rest can be so overwhelming. Already have to hire a florist, preacher, church, cemetery, and a host of other things that go into planning a funeral. Let your brand imprint take a few things off your plate. We offer a host of services under one roof to make your life just that much easier. Your Brand in Print, your go-to place for peace of mind during a trying time.
Cousins, what up, though? We back.
We paid some bills. I know what time it is.
How many bills you got?
Man, we got a lot of bills. Okay? We talking about future bills. Of course, you know, you got to pay the camera people. You got to pay the sound people.
Real.
It's a lot of payments that go into this. Don't get it twisted, you feel me? You going to see, watch the first episode, the 10th episode. You're going to be like, what?
We halfway there. Halfway.
But the power of community and collaboration. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, it's gonna be a part 2 to this video because y'all talk too much and y'all done ran out the time. So we coming back with a part 2, but we gonna close off on this for part 1 because I think it's important that
You got somewhere to go? You got somewhere to be?
well, you know, it's Virgo season and you know the Virgos, boy, they control my life right now. Oh my God. Well, so look, community networks, why do they matter? And do they matter in real life and in business or one or the other?
What you think?
Community networks definitely matter. Like, one, some of my biggest clients came from doing like stuff within my community. That's why I'm big on making sure we do stuff in the community. Cause like, one thing I will say is once you get involved in a community, a real community, they gonna keep you working. That's for sure. And I don't mean like a neighborhood community. I mean like a community of people, a gathering of like-minded folk who have this one goal and one mission. When I say community, you get what I'm saying? So I think that it matters in life and in business. One, like, I'm just really realizing that it matters in life because like, when they say it's lonely at the top, it really is. But it's mostly because when you get to a certain point in business where you don't trust people at all. And it's not because, you know, they might not even did anything to you, but you just had so much happen that you just naturally...
Like you traumatized.
Yeah, you feel me? Like you got PTSD. You just don't trust people. And so I think that when you have the people around you to remind you like, hey, don't be so shut off. Hey, like even with just having you around, just take the business part out of it. Like that's why I make sure like I show up personally. Like that's why it was important for me. Like, hey, I'm about to pull up. Let's grill. We ain't gonna do no camera work. This just gonna be us bonding, spending time. Like that's real big for me because like I'm not giving my time to a lot of people, but the people that I want to know that they are appreciated, I want to give them my time. Whereas before, I thought if you just throw money at a situation, I would have sent you a gift or whatever. And you know, that's always welcome for sure. But it's nothing like actually telling somebody quality they are appreciated and then showing them that they are appreciated. So I think that you can't really have a successful business without it.
I appreciate that. Yesterday was fun because we did grill. Well, Hope grilled. We ain't gonna go into it, but listen, y'all just see how much seasoning you was putting on that. Not only the season, bro. I was nervous.
You gotta use seasonings with no salt.
Okay. We ain't gonna talk about how she ran out of the garage with the charcoal bag and threw that.
It had spider webs on it.
Oh my goodness. I was just like, bro, who is about to cook? Cause what?
Cooking and dealing with spiders is two different things.
It was fun. It was chill. It was you know, needed to wind down. So I do appreciate you. That was definitely impromptu. And it was dope. It is crazy because I don't have a lot of people come up my house, but I was like, oh yeah, come on, what up?
So
what up?
How do community networks affect you then? Because you don't do so you don't have a lot of people come to your house.
Community, but there's a difference between having a community and being close to them, like on a deeper personal level. Because I can build a community and have, I feel, authentic exchanges with people without them being in my home.
Right.
Like my home is my haven. This is where I rest my head. This is where I unwind. And I just protect my home. I grew up with, well, a lot of people did come over my house growing up. However, it was love, close family and friends. You know what I'm saying? That we loved or that my mom loved. And so she never just had everybody coming over. You know what I'm saying? You had to kind of like go through a filter process. But I would say that community is definitely very important, especially like when I think about all of the things that I've gone through, like, so for example, not gone through, but for example, I am a mobile notary. And so I was very intentional about connecting with other mobile notaries because I didn't know all of the ins and outs. I was able to talk to people, ask questions, and also see how I can contribute. You know what I'm saying? Even if I was fresh on the block, I was still trying to, contribute in a way that I felt was good to where they didn't feel like I was using them.
Right.
Because that wasn't the goal. My goal was to learn.
Right.
So I think community is very important because I still have people to this day that I met years ago where, like, if I get a call, they're like, oh yeah, I need a notary, and I can't do it, I'm calling that person. Like, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna refer you to somebody else. You're in good hands. I think it's just very important to have community around you, but I know that sometimes when people are introverts, it could be a little bit harder or a little bit more challenging because one, they may not know how to connect with someone else, or they don't know like a conversation to start. It could be just a whole bunch of different reasons, but I do love having community because you could really lean on them.
So let me ask you a question.
What's that?
Do you think that people struggle with building a community because they don't know the difference between competition and collaboration?
I think that people have a hard time building community based off of probably trauma, if that answers your question. So like some people, for example, somebody may have got burnt in business and they might be like, I don't want to partner with another male no more. I'm not partnering with no more friends because blank happened.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I understand where your worry or your concern is because what happened was messed up, but that doesn't mean that everybody should pay for that situation. That was that one person. If anything, are you looking within to say like, hey, do I have the proper discernment to choose a person to go into business with? So I do believe that community, again, is very important. Now, when it comes to like collaboration versus competition, I think there is a healthy balance of having competition, because sometimes when you look at somebody and you see they doing better than you, and not like from a jealous or a greed perspective, but more so like, dang.
And you can collaborate with a person and still be competitive.
Exactly. It's fun. It can be fun as long as you do it right and it's respectable.
The number one question people ask me all the time is, how do I partner with so many printers? And it's like, I got two hands. Employees don't always show up. People don't always. But when you build that, I can go take this 100 shirt order. And let's just say, for instance, I got a 100 shirt order and I charge $7.50 for them. If I go take the shirts to one of my printer friends and be like, can you just press these for me? They might only charge me $1 per press because I took the shirts and the prints to them. You get what I'm saying? Whereas the next person, they might have charged $3 or $4 per press. But I've taken the time to build that relationship and you get what I'm saying? And so they don't look at me. Yes, they look at me as competition, but not. It's like healthy competition. It's like we kind of want to aspire to be like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want this, I want that. Like, you just kind of pick the parts of different businesses that you want your business to kind of mirror, and you make a healthy competition out of it. Like, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to stump you. I'm not trying to, do none of that. I don't want to take your business. I just, that particular thing I really, really like.
But this is the thing. We can all eat.
I'm a firm believer.
Everybody can.
You know how many print orders I send off a year to other printers?
And that's the thing. And it's not, I'm not even talking about like just even getting anything back in return. But listen, like, you gonna get that back. You know what I'm saying? Tenfold. And it may come from a different person or a different situation, but trust that you're gonna be blessed. Like, be a cheerful giver. Don't always feel like you gotta have that greed in your spirit. Like, no, that's not the case. So I do think community is good. I think competition can be good as long as it's respectable. And then when it comes to,
and you gonna have some competition that's not respected. Like, it's gonna be, hey, nah, like, this real. You get what I'm saying? But like you said, it gotta be a healthy balance of both. Like, you gotta have, like, for me, my number one enemy is Vistaprint. Because I made that in my mind when I first started printing. Like, I want to be better than Vistaprint. Like, they was the standard, the gold standard.
When it comes to funding, guess what one of the questions are? Who are your competitors? You gotta know who your competitors are.
Literally, do you know it was a time where I
who your
stalked
competition is. That's
the Prince website to see their prices all the time?
Players, they watch other
film. They watch film, yeah,
and stuff like that. So it's like you should know your competition.
That's why when people say to me like, I don't know other people's prices, well, you a fool? Because if you don't know nobody else's price, you don't know when to put stuff on sale. You don't know when to sell for the highs. You don't know when the market is doing bad. Like, for instance, like, when I first started printing, my bread and butter was hashtags because I came in the game on that 4 for $25. I was killing them. Like, people couldn't mess with me because they didn't know how to do the cut line. So they either had the hand cut, which made 4 for $25 impossible, or pay somebody to hand cut, which made it even more impossible. You know what I'm saying? But then it was a time where the market, they people weren't checking for props for a second. You get what I'm saying? So that was the time where I actually took them off sale. You get what I'm saying? Because
it wasn't hot no more.
It wasn't hot, and then so for instance, like if when I print props, it's on the whole board, so it start off at 8 feet. If I only get this, let's just say this board cost me $125 to print. If I only get 3 orders and I'm only running for $10, I took an L because I still got to print this board, even with just these 3 hashtags. Whereas if I would have charged $35, I don't take so much of a hit. You get what I'm saying? So people think that you're supposed to run sales. Like I'm the opposite. I'm running sales when it's slow. I mean, I'm not running sales when it's slow because that's when you take the most hit. If I'm running the sale, no, we popping.
Okay.
We popping. We got a abundatory inventory. I done caught a lick somewhere and got, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that kind of lick, but you know what I'm saying? Like, one of my manufacturers, like, hey, if you buy 500 shirts, we give them to you for $1.50.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go run I'm gonna go run a t-shirt sale and be like, look, I got $6 tees with a single print on that boy. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. But if it wasn't for collaborations, my business wouldn't even be where it's at today. Like, we collaborated on so much stuff early on just to get our foot in the door. Like, and we still do. Like, we got an event coming up.
You shouldn't stop because we all need each other at the end of the day. Like, we all need somebody. Business or not. So, yeah. No, I agree.
So, tell me tell me a story where collaboration paid off for you.
I'll tell you what. Actually, what can I say? I got one for you. A collaboration. Can I go with community? I will say when I had first started my calligraphy business and I was starting to build a relationship with one of my cousins who I had met for the first time, and we were full-fledged adults. And so we built a relationship, and you know, I mean I know she's family, but like you still gotta welcome people into your world, like community wise. But me and her were talking, and she was a teacher, and she ended up suggesting or referring my calligraphy business to one of her teachers in her community. So it was kind of like an indirect, but you know, like indirect contact, but it ended up directly impacting me.
You, right?
For great reason. So my other cousin had reached out to somebody in her community, and I ended up doing an entire calligraphy club with kids, where I was partnered up with a school district in Michigan where I had a Wild Writers Club, and I taught kids how to write in calligraphy.
That's what's up.
And I had like multiple school districts, you know, different children, and it was literally a program that I had on my own after school.
Right.
And so it was so beautiful because one, I had built that relationship with my cousin. I felt like she didn't know me from a can of paint because we were just now getting to know each other, but she saw that, you know, I had good intentions, you know, and we just always checked in with each other. And then when she saw an opportunity come up, and she thought about me, you know what I'm saying? She could have referred anybody else to have that opportunity, but yet, you know, I was the chosen one, and I was like forever grateful for that. And so when that one person reached out to me for the Wild Writers Club, then she told somebody else about it, like, and then that instructor that was running a different program told somebody else. So it was like a domino effect.
So that story that you just told, kind of takes us into our next point, because our next point is recognizing when people in your circle have opened doors for you and giving them their flowers. So let's just fast forward to how you gave her flowers, because clearly she opened up some doors. So what did you do to give her flowers?
That's a good question. Did I really give her flowers?
And that's the point that I wanted to get to. Like,
that's so bad. And I'm like, okay,
do we actually give flowers when we supposed to? Because that's why I'm big on showing my appreciation now. Cause
I am good with showing my gratitude.
It was some time.
Yes, but I'm good at showing gratitude by saying thank you, I appreciate you and stuff. I don't know what else I did. Obviously, I didn't do nothing strong enough to where I can remember, which now it makes me kind of like go back and like, dang, you know, I kind of feel bad. Make you want to send a text message
now. Like, man, cuz remember that one time?
Listen, it's so wild because, you know, I don't know what would be a good like token of appreciation now. But I was grateful, and I don't know how the heck. I don't know. I have to think about that. Maybe that's something I need to revisit when it comes to giving her flowers for getting my foot in the door to have all of those different partnerships.
So I'm real big on giving people their flowers, but my love language is giving people things that I know they need when it comes, because like.
Now, why you give stuff that people what they need instead of what they want?
Because what they need is usually what they want.
Not necessarily.
Well, in my line of work, yes. Because like. If you come to me and say, well, not even if you come to me and say, let's just say we having a conversation, you be like, yeah, I'm gonna get some shirts, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? And then a week later, you go refer me somewhere and they go spend a few $1,000s. On the back end, I'm already in the factored in, I'm gonna send you 5 t-shirts or whatever you just mentioned to me that you needed. I'm going to bless you with something because you didn't have to make that referral. You get what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to make that plug. And so.
Now, what if they bought what they needed and referred you? Like, they already got what they need.
That's when you circle back and you give them a gift card, or you know what I'm saying. Listen, I done sent flowers before. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like,
that's dope though.
I done sent flowers before.
I think it's dope that you are able to show gratitude and give people thanks. I think that's always good. And I will say, again, I'm very big on gratitude, but when you hit me with what I did for my cousin to put me on or put me in that space, and I'm like, dang.
But also, sometimes just saying thank you is the gratitude, you get what I'm saying? Because
I know, but
you're not always going to be able to give every time, but like even with us like really building our bond and stuff, you'll notice like every time something indirectly happens from something you did, I always hit you like, hey cuz, guess what happened today? This person I met here did this, you know what I'm saying? And I always make sure I break it down so you can understand like you directly affected this. So you know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's showing gratitude because I want you to understand. Yeah. Like you directly played a role in this, and I need you to know how big that role
and that
was.
Makes me
you get what I'm saying? Like
when I can fill up other people's cup. Like that makes me very happy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, because the next point, of course, is how to build a tribe that checks in, calls, and celebrates your wins. But it got to start with you. And that's basically what I'm saying in so many words. Like, you have to put out the energy that you want back. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you want people to call in, check on you, you got to call and check on them. And it's the thing. Sometimes people don't know what your love language is, so you actually have to say
I was going to say, do you know your friends' love languages? Or not, even if you don't know all of them, do you at least
my close
know their
friends,
top?
Yes.
Close friends is good because it's like, okay, I know. Now, I will say that I am very big on challenging my friends and pushing them where they need to be pushed, but maybe don't want to be pushed. Like, I am definitely that person that will ask those deep questions. I even feel like the Oprah friend. And when I say that, I'm not talking about like the monetary piece. I'm talking about more so like the deep diving in and asking you the questions that's going to make you think, that's going to challenge you. But when it comes to a tribe, I know that I am very adventurous and I like to do stuff, but a lot of my friends these days, they are married or they have a child, or they're working on their business and they're doing other stuff too. So I I don't know, I just want good people in my tribe. I want people that are goal oriented like myself. Like, I don't want to always feel like when I'm talking about my goals that people feel like I'm boasting or like, damn girl, can you sit down? Like, it's like I have to learn how to revel in some of my achievements, but it's very hard for me to do that. And so I'm always like stacking my goals. Like, after
that's
one
why I
goal,
don't have a lot of
then,
friends that not business owners, because they just not gonna understand.
Yeah, but even
Like, my non-business owner friends, I
that.
can't have my regular conversations with, because like they gonna be like, what?
See,
You get what they not go, because it's not because they don't love me or they not proud of me. It's just because they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So like, building a tribe of people who understand what you're going through and can meet you halfway is super duper important, because those are going to be the ones that's going to cheer you on. Those going to be the ones that remind you, hey, yesterday was hard, but tomorrow's a new day. Get up and get back at it. You get what I'm saying? Because they have somewhat experienced what you're experiencing.
Sometimes I will say this too, though. Sometimes your friends won't be able to do that because sometimes they may not have the capacity, or y'all might be, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might be
going
far
through
in
something at the same
distance
time,
or something like that, to where they may not be able to show up for you the way that you would have hoped they did or they could have.
Do you tell your friends how you want them to show up for you?
I feel like they do a really good job already, though. Like, I don't feel like I require a lot as a friend, because my thing is I love being supported, and when I say love being supported, I mean like, just, like you said, just checking in or making sure I'm good, or just going out having a drink. Yes, let's talk. But I do kind of expect for my friends to show up for me in very similar ways that I show up for them, and I make sure that I show up for them. And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, I scratch your back, you scratch mine all the time. No, that's not it. But you can scratch my back sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've learned how to trust myself and the people that I choose to be in my life, because I'm grateful. I used to think it was terrible having a small amount of friends, but I love my friends. I think
it's the best way to be.
And I don't feel so needy, but like, ooh, I just need them in my life, or, you know, I want to talk to them every day. There are some friends in some seasons where I talk to every day or every other day.
Bingo.
And then there's other seasons where I don't talk.
Yeah.
So it's like, but we understand that and we don't hold it against each other.
Like, one of my business partners, it's times where we might talk every day for 3 months straight. And then we might not talk. You know, we might talk a couple of times a week, but it just all depends. But in what we need in that time, also, you know, in that season, you feel me? Like, there's seasons where my friends know they need, like, for instance, Father's Day is a heavy season for me, and my friends know that, so they gonna be the ones called, you good, you need to come over, we need to cook, what we need to do, we need to pour some wine, you feel me? Like, Father's Day and my daddy's birthday, like, everybody around me know those dates, because they know those the 2 days. It used to be Christmas too, but I done got better with Christmas, but it was a time, like, especially them early years in Houston, like, my friends would literally hit me like, hey, you good? Don't start drinking yet, like, just wait a few hours before you start drinking. Like, I'll never forget my friend Agnes. Like, the year before this, my ex-girlfriend, because like her family was big on holidays, and like I was like the Scrooge. I was like Scrooge. You feel me? And so I just remember her texting me like Christmas morning, and was like, "Don't do the same thing you did last year. Like, be different, do better." You know, she like, be involved, be intentional. And like, at the time, I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, I ain't trying to hear that. But then, like, you sit back and think about it, like, she was being a friend, you get what I'm saying? She anticipated that I was gonna have a rough day, and she wanted to get ahead of it. And for that, I appreciate you. Feel me? Like, I appreciate it. Even if I didn't appreciate the message at the time, I appreciate her just going that extra mile to remember, like, today is not usually a good day for you. We 1,300 miles away, so let me just send you some encouraging words. You get what I'm saying? So but I'm also intentional about how I treat people. So like, I be expecting that energy back, and that don't. When I say expect the energy, if I get you a gift, I don't expect you to give me a gift, but I expect you to give me that energy back.
Celebrate me in some way.
You feel me? Like, for sure. Cause no, what? There's not no. I don't do one-sided friendships today.
And it's
in
so
this day and time.
interesting because I was impacted by abandonment issues, and so I used to accept being abandoned even by my friends because I was so numb to it. But after a while, and after I healed, I'm like, oh no,
Right.
like no, you guys to show up for me, bro, because I'm showing up for you. I was being the person that I wanted others to be to me, but it wasn't reciprocated. But
Right.
now that's not the case, and so I'm just glad that I was able to build my tribe with people who I'm truly like happy with. I can connect with. I call family.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, we done touched on a lot of stuff
We
today.
did. We touched on a lot
We
of stuff.
didn't get to everything, but we touched on a lot of stuff. So we're going to give y'all a part 2. We're going to start that part 2 off with seasons of hustle versus seasons of harvest.
Yes.
And that needs a little bit of time, so I don't want to rush it. So we're gonna come back with episode 2, but let's recap
Part
on
2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, part 2 of episode 4. This episode 4 part 2. Sorry about that. Let's recap on today's excitement and then let's get up out of here. But these was some good footnotes and some good points. So I want to make sure that the people got what they needed from the conversation. And also, make sure y'all leave some comments, like, subscribe, and share. Because, like, we want to hear what y'all got to say. We want to hear what y'all got to say. It was a lot to take in, honestly.
It was a lot.
It was a lot to take in. But most
it was
importantly,
good, though. It was good.
talking about just building your tribe and being there, showing up. I think that's the most important part that I want people to take from this episode is show up, be present, be in the moment, live in the moment. You only live once. That's the motto. YOLO. But it's real. Like, all jokes aside, you only live once. You only get one life. You got to live it to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
And that means not festering.
Definitely not festering, but also learning how to trust yourself and give yourself permission to, one, make mistakes, but also to just more so know that you're making decisions, especially like with your tribe and stuff, based on where you are, what you have, you know what I'm saying, and what you know at that point. So gotta give yourself that grace.
For sure. Cousins, we love y'all, man.
We love you.
Dom, leave us with some words of encouragement, man. What's the word for the day, man? You always be having the good stuff too. You be having the good stuff, man. Y'all I wish y'all could see our little folder that we got going. I'll be excited to open it because you just never know what you're going to read in it. I swear you be like, ooh, the word came today in the form of a caption. Hallelujah. So go ahead and lead the people with that good word, man.
That was my word.
That was your word?
Yourself and knowing that you're doing the best that you can, and that if you feel like somebody is not right for you and you feel that in your gut, you're right. You're most likely right. You got to trust yourself when you're choosing these people to be in your life, because if you allow anybody to do whatever they want, they're going to do whatever they want.
Period.
So
I'm going with
those boundaries.
I'm going with recognizing when people in your circle have open doors for you and give them their flowers. Because we don't give enough flowers nowadays.
Yeah.
Because we move in such a fast pace. Slow down. Acknowledge. And then so many people, I'm self-made. Nah, bro. Somebody reached out and lended you a hand at some point. And
that part.
When you start acknowledging that, more hands will be reached out to you. So recognize when people are stepping in on your behalf and making life easier for you.
You with the words of wisdom.
I'm just saying, because like, even though I probably could have got that account, you stepping in, you get what I'm saying, made it easier. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Even if I could have got this makeup, you got gifting it to me, made it easier. You know what I'm saying? So always just remember to look at the glass half full and not half empty, because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with giving people their flowers while they alive. Stop waiting till they dead to give people their flowers, man. Give them to them while they here and they can actually receive them.
All right, cousins. Well, that's all we got for y'all. Take care of yourself. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Cousins.